Good morning, students. Today we will continue with the chapter Fiber to Fabric, and the very next concept that we are going to understand is reeling. Reeling is a two-step process. The process of drawing silk fiber from by unwinding cocoon and converting it into a silk yarn is called reeling. So we are trying to draw or remove the silk fiber by unwinding the cocoon, and we are converting it into a yarn or a long strand of fiber. So this is nothing but a reeling. What is the first step under this? Cocoons are processed in hot water at 95 to 97 degrees Celsius for 10 to 15 minutes. So here cocoons are boiled at this particular temperature, and heating or boiling is done so that it softens the proteins in the cocoon and allows easy unwinding of the fiber. Step 2. Cocoons are reeled into silk yarn in hot water with different types of machines. Now, the cocoons are slowly unwinded into silk yarn by using different type of machines. Depending upon the required thickness of silk thread, filaments from a number of cocoons are combined together and reeled. So over here what is done is, depending upon the thickness, either 2 filaments can be wound together or 3, 4, depending upon the thickness of the silk thread. Filaments from a number of cocoons are combined together and then reeled. Then the thread is wound around a reel and is known as raw silk. So here the thread that is obtained or the thread that is wound over a reel is known as raw silk. What are the factors affecting the quality of silk? First one is rearing space. Larval growth is very fast during the early stages and therefore requires enough space. Too much crowd in the rearing tray results in increase in humidity, heat and fermentation of litter. So whenever the growth is happening, the larval growth is happening, it requires enough space so that it does not get, so that the quality of silk that is obtained is much better. What happens when there is too much crowding, when there is no enough space? It results in increase in humidity, heat, and fermentation is nothing but it's a type of an anaerobic respiration where carbon dioxide is released. So this also has an effect on the silk fiber, quality of silk fiber. So this leads to an unhygienic condition, wastage of leaves and underdevelopment of silkworm. So because of these factors, unhygienic conditions are resulted. The wastage of leaves, the leaves that are usually given for the caterpillar to feed on. Okay, and there is underdevelopment of silkworm. So silkworm development does not happen at a uniform rate. Next, leaf quality and quantity. Young worms are fed top, tender, succulent means juicy leaves which contain sugar, less fiber and starch but have very high moisture and protein. The old worms are fed matured leaves available at the bottom of the mulberry trees. So for the young worms, the very top leaf, which are very tender succulent leaf, are fed, whereas the old worms are fed with the leaves that are found at the bottom of the mulberry trees. The leaves fed to the worms are kept free from dust particles or water droplets. So the leaves that is usually given to the worms, they should be free of dust as well as water droplets. They should if water droplets are there, then it can easily attract the dust particles. The dust particles can stick to it. Next, water used in reeling. If the quality of water used for boiling cocoons is very poor, the impurities suspended in the water will adhere to the silk, thereby influencing its color and luster. So the impurities can stick to the silk, thereby changing its color and sheen or the shininess. Hence, the water should be colorless, odorless, and transparent. So it simply means it should be pure water. When I say pure water, it should be colorless, odorless, and transparent. Technique of stifling. Stifling is nothing but heat killing. Cocoons of different size and different qualities need different degree of temperature for stifling. You cannot destroy the cocoon at any given temperature. Otherwise, the fibers will be damaged. So there is a particular degree of temperature for stifling or heat killing the cocoons. Stifling by sun drying damages the quality of silk due to the action of UV rays. Therefore, stifling by hot air conditioning is a better technique. You just can't sun dry the cocoons because of the UV rays. It might get damaged. Therefore, it is done by passing hot air. So next we will try to understand industrial and occupational hazards. First one is sorter disease. It's nothing but the anthrax. So people who are working in wool industry can get infected by a bacterium called as Bacillus anthracis, okay, which causes a fatal blood disease called sorter's disease. So these are the disease the workers who are working in the industries, fabric making industries. So usually these are the disease that they can get infected. So sorter disease is a very infectious disease, and they can get infected by a bacterium called as Bacillus anthracis. And the anthrax is also known as the sorter's disease. Respiratory disease. Workers inhale vapors produced when cocoons are steamed, cooked, or reeled. So this leads to a breathing problem like asthma and other bronchial elements. Since they are constantly exposed to the vapors when the steaming is done or when boiling is done or reeling is done, so it leads to asthma and other bronchial ailments, scabies and other skin infection. When boiling cocoons in water, workers remain in constant contact with boiling water. Due to this, their skin becomes raw and blistered. This results in the peeling of the skin of hands and feet. The chances of skin infection like scabies. So here what happens, since the workers are constantly exposed to boiling water, the skin becomes itchy. It becomes raw and blistered. Blistered is nothing but redness which is accompanied by pus. So, and it results in peeling of the skin. As you're constantly itching over there, the skin peels and it's a skin infection. Scabies is a skin infection where there is peeling of the skin and the skin is constantly itchy. Next. Test to observe the difference between wool, silk and synthetic fiber. Take one piece each of wool, silk and synthetic fiber. Carefully burn the ends of the yarn with a matchstick. Observe what happens and compare the results. So first one is wool fiber. It produces a sizzling noise and smells like burning hair. The yarn curls away from the flame. So what happens when you're burning a wool fiber? So a sizzling noise is produced and it smells as if the hairs are being burned, and the yarn or the fiber just curls away from the flame. Suppose it is a silk fiber. The yarn burns slowly at a very slower pace and melts. It gets burnt completely, leaving no trace. Synthetic fiber, it burns quickly, melting away. It leaves a hard black and bead-like residue. So whereas silk fiber, it was burning really slowly, but whereas synthetic fiber burns very quickly, it leaves over here a black bead like residue, whereas over here there was no trace at all in silk fiber, and here the yarn curled away from the flame. These characteristics are used to differentiate between materials and their purity. We get to know whether the material that is given to us is pure or not by doing these particular tests.